Coming up, a dive into what the holidays are like at MSU for international students, how one campus department works to make it feel like home.
Then, take a look inside Theater MSU's latest production and why it might have special meaning for audiences.
And later, women's soccer on a roll. See how the Lady Bulldogs crushed the competition in the first round of the NCAA tournament.
Your Take 30 News starts right now. Good evening and welcome to Take 30 News. My name is Raylen Ladner.
And I'm Aubrey. Thanks for joining us today. Mississippi State University is home to nearly 850 international students from more than 80 countries across the globe. And while most students are gearing up to head home for the holidays, many international students are preparing to spend their break in Starkville, Mississippi.
Meet Wayme Callie.
There's nobody here. It immediately becomes a ghost town here, so it can be kind of depressing.
He's an international student from Nigeria, and as he's in his senior year now, Callie has found ways to make his winter breaks enjoyable by building a home base in Starkville.
It's kind of different here. Like here we do a lot of gift giving, and it's not something I'm very used to, but it's not bad, you know, you're still spending time with family, but it's a home away from home. We all just try and get together, host events, cook traditional foods.
But of course, there are things Callie misses about home.
Like I haven't seen my immediate family in a while, so sometimes I do feel like I'm missing out on like their lives and things like that. But it's kind of a sacrifice that I have to make to be here.
While campus is lit up and lively now, in just a couple weeks, Mississippi State will be quieter than normal. But MSU's international services make sure that students who can't go back to their home countries for the holiday season have something or someone to keep them company.
Their supervisor or someone in their lab who lives here year-round will invite them over for meals. There are a couple churches that do Friendsgiving events. There's one on Friday, and then there will be one on Thanksgiving Day. So those are groups that our students usually don't interact with otherwise. And so for them, it's a cool way to see like, hey, everyone cares.
While MSU's International Services plans events for students to get a taste of several different holiday traditions, staff members also make sure every student has all the necessities over the break.
Because one of the biggest challenges is that when the university closes for those 11 or so days, there's no dining options on campus. So if we do have students staying on campus during that time, we arrange trips to the grocery store or work with local churches to have meals donated.
But other international students feel differently about spending the holidays away from home.
But then for them, it becomes like just this very peaceful college town where they finally get to breathe and enjoy like, wow, I am here in this tiny college town and I'm preparing myself to go back to my home country and do all these cool things.
MSU students will be out for Thanksgiving break starting next Wednesday, and Christmas break begins shortly after on December 12th. And the holiday season obviously is officially here.
And Starkville is kicking off the festivities with one of the community's most anticipated events. We have this story.
Your local businesses are truly the backbone of your community.
Director of Main Street for Starkville, Paige Watson, is highlighting the role small businesses play, especially during the holiday season.
It's all the small businesses that we don't really necessarily hear about all the time. They get to come and get to show all their products and stuff and, you know, come together as a community.
For 2 days, the mill hosts the bazaar, giving shoppers the opportunity to find one-of-a-kind gifts while giving vendors a chance to shine.
For 52 years, this holiday bazaar has been supporting economic vitality, as well as giving local vendors the opportunity to show off their products.
We are able to collect the sales tax, and it goes back to Starkville and Oktibbeha County after the event. And not only are some of the vendors from out of town, and so they come here and they stay in our hotels and they shop at our stores and eat locally, our local vendors are also included. So it's really kind of a win-win for everyone.
For first-time vendors, the bazaar offers a chance to learn the ropes and build connections.
I think it's rewarding. It's nice to see other vendors and how that looks for them and how they kind of set their business up and present themselves to customers. And I don't know, I've learned a lot. I think it's a great experience. I would definitely consider doing it again.
For longtime participants, it's a tradition that continues to inspire.
Why do I participate? Because I love to be creative and I love people to appreciate what I do.
The Holiday Bazaar is just one of the many ways Starkville is celebrating this season. Make sure to check out local events and support local businesses in the community.
And while today has been a little frosty outside, is it time to dust off the big winter coats? We bring in Take 30 meteorologist Mitchell Keys for more. Mitchell?
Yeah, you definitely still need those winter coats because tonight we are gonna have a freeze. And right now temperatures around the area sitting in the 50s, but they're gonna drop a lot after sunset. Looking at the remainder of the day by 6 p.m. So only a couple hours from now, we'll be sitting in the 40s. By 9 p.m., 42 degrees and 39 by the next day. And looking at tonight, your low's 31 degrees, going to be seasonably cool, and we have that freeze warning. And I'll tell you why that is important coming up in my full forecast.
Well, thank you so much, Mitchell. While most people have winter clothing to protect themselves from frigid temperatures, there are those who are not as fortunate. One local resident in Columbus aims to change that. Our Michael Cassidy has the story.
Looking at it, it looks about a good 20 to 30 coats so far.
Residents of Columbus know 1910 Military Road is Jordan's barbershop, but from November 11th to December 13th, it will serve as the location of an unofficial coat drive hosted by local resident Janiqua Lowry.
I was in Memphis and me and my mom was sitting around talking, and I wanted to do something to give back to my community. It's always good to help our fellow co-workers and neighbors and friends.
More donations, people who are less fortunate will be able to have some heavy winter clothing to combat these cold days. This is the fourth coat drive that Miss Lowry, who stated that her inspiration for her drive came from her children, has hosted.
Going through clothes, and I seen that my kids had a lot of coats, and I was like, well, instead of just throwing them out, I could just utilize those in another way.
Lowry chose Jordan's barbershop for its connection to her and the community.
I know a lot of our community come here to get their hair did and get their haircuts. It feels like home here.
Coats can be dropped off Tuesday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. In Columbus, with Take 30 News, this is Michael Cassidy.
To donate a coat, go to 1910 Military Road in Columbus, Mississippi.
And coming up, an on-campus event gave out thousands of dollars to students this week. We have all the details after the break.
We'll be right back.
As concern grows over the declining health of the world's oceans, veterinary students at Mississippi State are learning how to rescue and rehabilitate vulnerable marine animals. Through a unique partnership between the College of Veterinary Medicine and the Institute of Marine Mammal Studies in Gulfport, Mississippi, students are experiencing the chance of a lifetime. Real-time research of this fragile ecosystem prepares students for a future in providing care for sick and stranded dolphins, turtles, sea lions, and other marine species. At the same time, MSU's advanced diagnostic technology is helping innovate for solutions while improving treatment and outcomes. Not only are the waters of the Gulf Coast opening new worlds of discovery for Mississippi State veterinary students, they are much safer now thanks to this game-changing partnership that's improving life for literally hundreds of aquatic animals.
Welcome back to Take 30. I'm Aubrey Carter.
And I'm Raylen Ladner. The 2024 4th Annual Innovate State Hackathon is officially in the books.
Yes, this week Mississippi State students had the chance to show off their best work. The competition included more than 20 teams of 2 to 5 students regardless of their major or classification. Students competed in coding with Arduino, building devices, and assembling compatible components. Event organizer Melissa Grimes says the winners got to walk away with a big check.
You know, it certainly might be helpful to them for rent and whatnot, but I would love to see some of them buy some equipment that they have not been able to afford. Some of them were up here using my soldering equipment and things like that. So if they wanted to buy that sort of stuff and then come back and compete next year, I'd love to see that happen.
The second place winner walked away with $3,000, and third place getting $1,500. All the prize money was split equally among all team members.
And in other campus news, Theater MSU premiered a new play on Wednesday. The story is about 5 nurses and a country western singer who finds themselves on the front lines during Vietnam War. Students working on the play spent weeks building the set and preparing the stage.
Associate Professor Jesse Wade says this is a great opportunity to highlight the role women played during that time.
This is a story that would appeal to military and military families all over the country, and is a story that has sort of fallen off a little bit, and we want to remind people about the sacrifices these soldiers made, and specifically about the role of women in the Vietnam War and about how much they gave to that conflict, and the fact that their story doesn't really get told all that often.
The show will be playing at the McComas Theater tonight at 7:30 and Sunday at 2 p.m. Tickets can be purchased online prior to the performance.
A freeze warning has been issued for the area. I'll have why that's important coming up next on my full forecast.
Discovery. It tells our history and determines our future. At Mississippi State University, we're digging deep, unlocking an understanding of our past, validating it. Middle East exploration by faculty and students is uncovering evidence that unravels ancient mysteries. Scholars have long thought of the biblical kings David and Solomon as mythological figures. Our research offers evidence that supports their existence, boosting MSU into an international league of experts on archaeology. Now we're changing the way people think about the past, opening up new possibilities of understanding for future generations. Digging deeper, learning more.
Clear and cool on satellite and radar around the area. As you can see, not a cloud in the sky in the Twin States region. And as we look at our campus cam, blue skies right now, but that sunset is coming quickly. 55 degrees is your temperature in Stark, but we have a low dew point. So it's really dry right now around the area. And as we take a look at the currents around the area as well, 50s around the area for our currents. Temperatures for the past 24 hours, how they have changed, almost 5 degrees, so not a big difference, but it does tell the story that we're getting a little bit cooler around the area. And as we take a look at our low temperatures for tonight, it's going to be quite cold tonight. We do have a freeze warning, which I will talk about in a little bit. And freeze warning right now, right here, in Oktibbeha County, make sure you have those plants covered. That's just part of my weather checklist. Prepare your home, have your plants covered. Outdoor safety check, make sure your anything outdoor is taken care of. Vehicle maintenance, make sure you have your tire pressure filled up or checked whenever you get in the car in the morning. Do a personal safety check, wear warm clothes outdoor. Care for your pets, never leave them outside in the cold. And have your emergency preparedness kit ready as well. Tomorrow, going to be 60 degrees, seasonably cool and sunny. And as we take a look, we also have that game tomorrow, tailgate weather, nice, sunny and 57. Kickoff, sunny and 60. By halftime, clear and 54. And by the end of the game, going to be around 50 and clear as well. Looking at the upper air pattern, cool air to our east. It's still hanging around a little bit here. That's why we will have freezing temperatures tonight, but it will be starting to trend a little warmer as this high pressure really builds over our area. And that's going to be the story for this weekend. High pressure building around our area, and we're going to see warmer temps going into next week. So taking a look at our 7-day forecast, 60s today, tomorrow, and Sunday. We get into the 70s by Monday, 60s back into next week. Sunny, and then rain increases into midweek next week for Thanksgiving, and 30s into 50s and 40s next week as well.
We'll take a look at the dominant wins from state hoops and the beginning of the women's soccer postseason.
When it comes to making the world a better place, it's all in the numbers at Mississippi State University. Our big data science researchers are creating astonishing new algorithms to model human behavior and consumer activity to identify anomalous purchasing patterns. Interpreting the data creates heat maps that can signal fraudulent activity and even predict likely cybercrime locations and perpetrators. And as the only academic institution to team with a state-level DHS agency in the study of transactional data of the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, MSU is helping prevent misuse while ensuring that benefits are being used as intended. These successes are opening doors for similar research partnerships with banking, insurance, credit card, and other data-intensive industries, leading to consumer confidence in online and other transactions. Making numbers count. Mississippi State University. The sense of place. We all have it. Often grown from deep roots in small-town communities. At Mississippi State University, our Carl Small Town Center is strengthening these ties. With nearly 40 years of making a difference, we're revitalizing communities into welcoming places to work, live, and congregate. By weaving together the best pieces of our past with modern technology and amenities, we're creating the hometowns of the future. Places where lifetime memories can be made, where you have all the things you need, along with all the things you want. Through partnerships with our communities, we're identifying improvement opportunities, recommending paths forward, and creating the plans for a better tomorrow.
Welcome back to Take 30 News. I am Anthony Jenkins Jr. here with your sports update. Also joining me is sports reporter Teirrah Tidwell. Teirrah, what can you tell us about the MSU women's soccer team first round win?
Well, Anthony, the top-seeded Mississippi State Soccer Dogs dominated in the first round of the NCAA tournament. They ran all over the first-time SWAC champion Southern Jaguars with a commanding 7-0 win, with each of the 7 goals scored by different members of the team. Senior defender Riley Combs says it was important for the team to move past their loss in the SEC tournament and focus on the present.
Especially going off of last game, I think our whole team as a whole, we were like, this is a new chapter. We closed that one, now it's time for the NCAA tournament and we need to kick it up a notch. So I think we weren't very satisfied with how we ended things in the SEC tournament. So I think from now on, I think we have a new kind of perspective of what we want to accomplish, and I think today was a very good stepping point for what we want to accomplish going forward.
With the Bulldogs' win over Southern, they advanced to the round of 32 for the 3rd consecutive season. They will play the Washington Huskies tonight right here in Starkville at the MSU soccer field at 6 p.m. Back to you, Anthony.
Thanks, Teirrah. The Mississippi State women's basketball team is on fire as they received some dominant wins over this past week. The Lady Bulldogs grabbed their 4th win of the season, defeating Chattanooga 69-44 Sunday, and they were back at home to play the Mercer Bears. In the first quarter, another game, another 3. Debrisha Poe knocks it down behind the arc at the end of the first. We get a buzzer beater from Anaya Russell to put State up double digits. The Lady Bulldogs would also get it done on the other end with this steal from the team, which results into an easy layup for Anaya Russell. In the third, Mississippi State with the ball. They would get an and one from Kanira Monahue as she gets the layup. Still in the third quarter, we get a corner 3 from Destiny McFall as they put State up by 45. The Lady Bulldogs will get their 5th win for the season, beating Mercer 81-44. This is also the 50th win for Sam Purcell as the head coach for the team. He says he was fortunate to get the opportunity to coach the Lady Bulldogs.
I keep saying it. I've never scored a point here at Mississippi State. I'm fortunate to have a university that gave a first-time head coach an opportunity. You need one school to believe in you, so it means the world that Mississippi State believed in me, these people, and then being a first-time head coach when a time you can transfer and leave. And I say it with Caleb, Jordan, and Poe because they were with me on day one. They were like, all right, Coach, we're going to give you a chance. So shout out to those 2 and every other player I've been fortunate to coach because it's about them, and I'm the luckiest guy to be their head coach.
Mississippi State men's hoops was in action in South Haven in the Mid-South Showdown against Utah. It was the first loss on the line for the 2 teams. The Utes did not come to play as they were up 11 in the first half, but sophomore Josh Hubbard made his presence like he always do, scoring 23 points for the game. Also, another returner, Keyshawn Murphy was all over the floor, scoring 18 points, grabbing 14 rebounds, and he also had a couple of blocks. State would score 50 points in the second half to get their 4th win of the season, beating Utah with their final score 78-73. Their next upcoming game will be against SMU on the road in Dallas, Texas. This game is tonight, by the way, so tip-off is set to be at 7:30 p.m. and we'll be streaming live on ACC Network X. Mississippi State football is back in action tomorrow as they are geared to play their last home game of the season. They will be looking to get their first SEC win against the Missouri Tigers. They are currently sitting at a 2-8 record for the season, and their remaining games are against Missouri, and then they're off to the Egg Bowl against Ole Miss. Even though the record is not the greatest, there is still some individual accolades for State players. On the defensive side, Mississippi State is the only team in the SEC with 2 players in the top 3 leading the conference in tackles, which is Isaac Smith. He's number 1, and Stun Blanton is 3rd on the list. And on the offensive side, Kevin Coleman Jr. is 5th in receiving yards in the SEC. And junior offensive lineman Albert Reese IV is this year's Kent Hull Trophy winner. This is the honor of the best offensive lineman in the state of Mississippi. I know the college football season is slowly winding down, which means it is high school football postseason. Tonight marks the 2nd round of the playoffs where Starkville High is in action. They finished their regular season with a dominant 7-4 record, and last week the Yellow Jackets got an impressive victory on the road in the 1st round of the playoffs against Horn Lake with a final score of 44-14. But tonight, Starkville have a tough task going up against the undefeated Tupelo Golden Waves as they lost to them in the regular season earlier this month. But they'll be looking to bounce back and even up the score to reach that 7A state championship. That's all we have for sports today, and back to you, Raylen.
Thanks so much, Anthony. Coming up, Thanksgiving is fast approaching, and with it, the peak of cold and flu season.
How to stay healthy this holiday season right after the break.
At Mississippi State University, student-led teams are taking one of the country's biggest health issues to heart. Out to unravel one of science's unsolved mysteries, researchers in MSU's Department of Agriculture and Biological Engineering are asking why and when healthy cells in human arteries can begin changing into bone-like structures that hamper blood flow. This calcification contributes to strokes and heart attacks, 2 leading causes of death in Mississippi. As part of their groundbreaking research, students are designing a 3D model that allows them to understand how arteries act within the body and what changes them. By recreating what is happening at the cellular level, researchers are pursuing ways to stop and reverse the process of calcification. Testing treatments could lead to new solutions, helping reduce the number of people struggling with the effects of poor heart health, and ultimately saving lives. Mississippi State University, getting to the heart of better health for Mississippians.
Welcome back to Take 30 News. I'm Aubrey Carter.
And I'm Raylen Ladner. Thank you so much for joining us. It's time to get together with family and friends. But as you prepare for Thanksgiving, experts say you should also protect yourself and your family from getting sick.
And in today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has more on what to do to help prevent illnesses over this Thanksgiving break.
It's almost time for turkey, gatherings with family and friends, and unfortunately, greater risk of sharing germs.
The more people that you're around in a greater amount of time, which we tend to spend more time with people at the holidays, the more exposure you're going to have.
Dr. Jennifer Brule with American Academy of Family Physicians says the holidays happen at the peak of respiratory virus season. She says vaccination can help protect against flu and COVID-19. Both are recommended for everyone 6 months and older. There's also an RSV vaccine for adults 75 and older, or those between the ages of 60 and 74 at increased risk of severe RSV. The shot can also be given during pregnancy during weeks 32 and 36. And infants born during RSV season can receive monoclonal antibodies to protect against the virus.
The best time to get your vaccines this season, if you haven't done so already, is today.
During the holiday, Brule says it's important to keep hands clean, cover coughs and sneezes, consider masking if you're at high risk of getting severely sick, and if you are sick, stay home.
As much as you want to see those folks, you do not want to be the reason why they get something that might make them more sick than you are.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The CD says that right now RSV cases are elevated in the United States, but COVID-19 cases are stable or declining in most areas.
And flu activity remains low as well, but those numbers tend to change after big holidays.
So be sure to take your vitamins, wash your hands, take care of yourself.
Yeah, for sure. I'm hoping not to get sick, but I know being around lots of family, it happens.
Yeah.
Well, Mitchell, can you give us one last look at weather?
Yeah, it's going to be quite cool as we go into tonight. 31 degrees is your temperature tonight, seasonably cool, and we have a freeze warning tonight, so we're going to be near freezing as well. And looking at your current alerts around the area, freeze warning, as I said, in Oktibbeha County. Make sure if you have those plants outdoors or your pets, make sure to bring in those pets and make sure to put a sheet or something on top of your plants to keep those safe. And as we take a look at our campus cam one more time, going to be nice going into this evening, clear. Look at that sunset, just beautiful and pristine. 54 degrees is our temperature right now, and we got a low dew point, and it will stay low, so it won't feel very muggy with this cold. It just will feel chilly. And
okay, thanks so much, Mitchell.
Yeah, I know supposed to be a cold one tomorrow. Hopefully we can get our first SEC win against Missouri. The season coming to a close. You know, we got, after Missouri, we got the Egg Bowl. So what's y'all plans for the Egg Bowl? Y'all going?
Ooh, the past 2 years I have gone, but I'm a little upset that they moved it from Thursday to Friday. So I don't know. Hopefully I'll go, but maybe not.
Well, that is our show. Thank you so much for joining us for our final Take 30 of the semester.
Make sure to tune in next January with an all-new crew and keep up with us on social media. Have a great week in Bulldogs, and for the last time, Hail State!